Intensify forward firepower! Ah! Too late!
Hello everyone, it is Republic Studs, and today I got the LEGO Star Wars set 75275 UCS A-Wing Starfighter. Now, this is a quite beautiful set. It came out back in 2020 with 1,673 pieces, retailing for $199.99. A May 4th drop, which was quite interesting, and quite an interesting set itself. Now, this set unfortunately did just retire recently, but you still can get it for more moderate prices than they will be in the future. As you guys know, UCS sets go up in value a ton, and currently the cheapest you're going to get it is today, the day you're watching this, and it's only going to go up in price from there. This is going to be one of those sets that ends up costing $500-600. You could look for reference at, say, the UCS Y-Wing, which was the same price and is now going for around $600. So it's the same deal with this guy. Now, let me just say, I love the A-Wing fighter. It has been around since the Rebels timeline in the Star Wars universe. It has one of my favorite scenes with the kamikaze. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Intensify forward firepower! Ah! Too late!
And it showed up in the Rise of Skywalker and all those movies, and it is quite a fascinating model. Now, I feel I would be doing quite a disservice to a lot of big fans of the set. I know there are a ton of big fans of the set, mainly because we had not gotten a UCS A-Wing ever before this one. And this was the first time we actually got one. We had other Y-Wings, we'd had other X-Wings, but we'd not this. This is the first time we've gotten this one, and it honestly was a long time coming. It was on shelves for 2 years, which was not bad. But in this video, we are going to be taking a comprehensive look at it, as well as giving my full thoughts. I'll have time cards at the bottom. We're also going to be having a hyperlapse that I actually recorded. The hyperlapse, which usually are pretty fast, I have like 20 minutes worth of hyperlapse. So bear with that. We're going to shorten that down. Hopefully it'll be probably closer to 3 minutes. But yeah, with that said, I'm going to ask you all to hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. We're gunning for 30,000 subs, so everything helps, especially if you like LEGO Star Wars. Then it's totally worth hitting that. And we're going to get right on into it. Okay, everyone, so first off, here is a look at the beautiful black box art we get on the set. This is the first time we've seen this type of box art put into practice with LEGO Star Wars. You'll even notice an interesting thing. You see the base that is holding the A-Wing, they just kind of faded it out. So you don't really get to see all of it, which I think is an interesting take. You also do get the A-Wing Starfighter with the correct logo for its faction. It has the Rebel logo up there, which is great. You do get the Ultimate Collector Series mark. It does not have the regular badge. This was, I believe, when that stopped. You also do get all of the special details down there with the LEGO logo, and of course the Star Wars and Disney logo in the corner with all that little black brick greebling, which was common on Episode 9 sets and now UCS sets. Now the back of the box art is also something to admire. I love the shadowing. This is just such a perfect photo. You can see the shadow of the A-Wing on the back of the box art. You get a fuller look at what you get in the set. That's everything right there. You do get a little display that shows you the height and the diameter and all that stuff. It's pretty fantastic. Just a nice, simple diagram of what is going on there. You also do get two different looks of the A-Wing, and again, that LEGO logo at the top with all of those little black bricks at the bottom. Now, for those who are consistent with my reviews, you know I love the side box art, and this is great if you want to stack it on its side. You think that would work a ton, just really cool. And of course, there is the actual size comparison, which we always have on these boxes for what an actual minifigure or brick would look like. Now here's the instruction manual. It's certainly an interesting one. You do get a look at all the details. You do get a cool look at like just some books, just on a nice shelf. Really nice thing. You get a thing about the designer, which you guys can read and pause if you would like. Now you do get loads of details and design images for, you know, the A-Wing obviously introduced in Episode 6. You get facts and specifications, and you get all that different stuff. One of the interesting things, though, and I would like to point this out. Now it says to make things easier on everyone, we will be including an extra sticker. Basically, they want to include an extra sticker because the cockpits are hard to do, and realistically, they should be including an extra piece because the sealant, you know, on the sticker, it gets sticky and it destroys the piece. They did not do that. I did not have an extra piece, so I don't know what's going on. I think this guy thought that was going to happen, and then it just never did. So that's a big L for LEGO. We also do have some of the Resistance bombers because we did get A-Wings in that movie, but they are not this A-Wing. Or maybe this is just because the designer's grandson is a huge LEGO Ninjago fan. That's probably it. The apple does not fall far from the tree. And there's another one of the LEGO designers. Obviously, it says meet the model designers. You get some more of that Q&A, which we haven't actually seen in any sets that I can recall in terms of UCS recently. I don't believe we got this with R2-D2. Then you get it in all the other languages, and then after that, after like 30 bajillion different pages, you finally move into the build. And then you do, on the back of this, get a beautiful little A-Wing logo. I think that looks absolutely stunning. They nailed that. And then again, on the front of the box art, you get all of this fantastic little detail. Now, let's get into the minifigures. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a look at the UCS A-Wing Starfighter pilot, and I think this one is absolutely stunning. First off, it is a great minifigure, and now you do get this dark green color, which I think they absolutely nailed with this one. It just looks so great. I love this so much better than the light green they've used on these types of minifigures in the past. With that being said, he does come with that exclusive gray helmet, as far as I'm aware. I don't think that's anywhere else. He does come with belt printing with that tube running all the way down his leg. You could turn him around. He does get some very simple back printing. Again, love this helmet. And then you also do get this smile. Now, it is important to remember that, you know, these sets are not too much about minifigures, but I think they probably could have done a second one. I understand why they only did one. Only one actually fits in the set. But if they could do another one, I'd say like Admiral Akbar kind of would have been a little cool, maybe. I don't know. Just a thought I'd throw out there. Maybe even a little droid, but droids don't even go on these. So I think it was a kind of a perfect figure selection. I'm just throwing out there if there's anything else they could have possibly done. But they really nailed this. So good job, LEGO. Now, let's move in to the build. It does come with a plaque with some minor details like the manufacturer being the quad system engineering, the length, the engines, the hyperdrive shielding, and weapons. And then again, a little stand for your minifigure. It comes with two little stud hoppers. Very simple. And then on a broader level, you do have this full stand, and we're going to get into some of the features of this later on, but an important cool thing to notice is this little build right here. Now, let me show you how that lines up and how to place the A-Wing onto this. So here you go. All you have to do is see that little hole right there. You're going to line that up like so. With the A-Wing, you just kind of have to wiggle it in correctly, and this is probably the best way to do it. And then you just kind of let it sit down, and it sits like so. Now the A-Wing is one amazing looking build with one huge structural flaw, and we'll get to that in a second, but first I want to start at the front, work our way back. Now here's the head-on view of the A-Wing. You do notice some panels. This is a minor issue. The panels are a little finicky. You also do get some great detail. You get some stickers on each side for those little orange arrows, and then if you move this down, you also do get those little red triangles, which are pretty neat and pretty cool. And you also do get a head-on look at the cockpit. You move down, you do get some minor greebling. I guess these are little blasters built in that are not the exterior ones like you see here, and you do get that over here as well. Now on the side, you do get the Borstal RG-9 laser cannons and the Dyneck HM6 concussion missile launchers, which are the ones I believe on the bottom, which are all very cool. Obviously, a nice little detail. And an interesting thing to note is you'll notice these bricks over here are gray, and these over here are just plain white. They purposely did that. I thought that was kind of an interesting design choice. I'm not entirely sure how accurate that is, but I think it still looks good. And then, of course, you obviously do have the cockpit. It is very simple to remove it. It just unleashes like so. And if you are wondering, yes, you can indeed fit your minifigure in here, although it is not very snug. I mean, if you stand him, that's not very accurate to the movie. But it is something that it can do, so if you really want to display your set as such, which I kind of strongly would not recommend, you can do it. It just doesn't work very well. And then, of course, you obviously do have the cockpit. It is very simple to remove it. It just unleashes like so. And if you are wondering, yes, you can indeed fit your minifigure in here, although it is not very snug. I mean, if you stand him, that's not very accurate to the movie. But it is something that it can do, so if you really want to display your set as such, which I kind of strongly would not recommend, you can do it. It just doesn't work very well. Also, small note, I do love how they use the chocolate bar slash Beskar brick now as a tan seat cushion. I think it works really well, and they really nailed that design. Now, if you want to take a look quickly in front of you, you'll notice on there is a little control panel as well as a throttle. I don't believe this moves very much, but it is there, which is very nice and a great little feature, so that's pretty cool. Now, here's a small feature my dad actually pointed out, and he said these two things look like eyes, and this looks like a mouth, so I don't know, but I found that kind of funny. You also do get this little center engine type piece, which is pretty cool. You also do get some minor greebling up there, minor greebling around, just great all-around detailing. Now, I do briefly want to get into the worst part of the set. It is the stickers on this. No, I'm just joking. It's not the stickers, but they are an annoying part. It is the engines. They are so fragile. They come off with the snap of a button. Like they're just ridiculous. They are very, of course, now they don't break, but they're very easy. It just, they're very wobbly. It's just not a great system you got here. They should feel more secure. They are very wiggly. It's just not great, and that's just a small problem with this set, which really isn't that bad, but it's still just a minor thing that knocks the set down from being like a truly 10 out of 10 type set. And I do not understand at all why you have to sticker this cockpit. This is a $200 UCS set. LEGO should know better. And on top of that, they have done a non-sticker thing. This is printed on the Anakin Jedi Starfighter. It came out the exact same year. They had this exact mold from 2014. They could have been able to figure out a way to have this printed on. It's a $200 set, and that was just cheap on their part. They really should have developed a new printed piece. Now, you can display this set in several different ways. The first off being the most common one. This is the slight angle one. You can also, again, lift this up, and all you have to do is simply push it back, and it locks in place, and you can have it up straight. But another thing a lot of people completely forget to consider is that all you have to do, if you want to have it, say, flying upwards, is you just have to spin it around, and you can put it exactly in like you saw earlier, and you can just kind of wedge it in, and like so, you can have it flying up, and away. I think that's a great display model and way to display this set. If it's on a shelf, say like sideways or whatever, it looks really good. And in fact, I think even LEGO is well aware of this, and I haven't seen many people bring this up, but there are those two little stud hoppers back here. Now, all you have to do to connect that is you simply just put the base plate that they have right here down like so, and it works really, really well, and it just displays perfectly, quite honestly. And you could even display it on its side. That's how well it works. Really, you can display it in any angle. They all look great because this is a beautiful model. Now, with that said, let's get into my final thoughts. Now, you guys know I am of the belief that UCS sets are some of the greatest sets that LEGO makes, and this is certainly no exception. While this is not like the best UCS set ever, and it is certainly not the worst, it is certainly a very middle-of-the-line UCS set, which means it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Again, the only major flaws are those sticker problems as well as the cockpit stickers, and of course the engines. That is the biggest problem in my opinion. Those loose engines are just the worst. But overall, I think LEGO did a great job, especially for their first UCS A-Wing. They just really nailed the design. They really hit it home. This was a fantastic job, well done. and the minifigure was alright. Again, they're not the highlight of these UCS sets, which is fine, but yeah, they're still cool either way. So with that said, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Tell me if you're going to be buying this one. I don't know. It's going up in price. It's around probably $250 now, and that is a fair price. If you find it for $250, I think you should personally buy it if you like what you see. Anything higher is a little high, so keep looking around. With that said, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Remember to peace out and stay awesome.